In the heart of northern Uganda, where Gulu rises as a beacon of hope and opportunity, lies a story that transcends borders and resonates with the dreamers everywhere. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce to you an extraordinary woman whose entrepreneurial journey is redefining success. Against the tide of convention, she chose Gulu, an emerging economic hub, over the bustling capital city of Kampala to build her dreams. Her story is one of courage, innovation, and unshakable belief in the potential of her community. But what makes Gulu the perfect place for her business? Stay with us to uncover the inspiring journey of this trailblazer who is proving that the road less traveled can lead to unimaginable success.
Thank you, Dominic Mu, and to all the viewers there. Thank you so much for watching us today. My name is Noro. I'm an entrepreneur based in Gulu, and I run a business called Lamaro Studio, and it's a business which promotes women entrepreneurs. We do this in 3 ways. We hold one women in business meetings every month on a topic related to business. We run a fashion show every International Women's Day, where we showcase work by different women designers. And then lastly, we have 2 gift shops, and recently we've opened up a cafe called Lamaro Cafe, where we sell craft as well as snacks and local food to promote Acholi cuisine.
Can you uncover the journey that brought you here by sharing your inspiring background?
I'm from Gulu, but I've lived in different countries. I studied law. I really love being an entrepreneur. It helps you to really address problems in a real-time situation. I've been doing that mostly through empowering women, creating space in my shop for them to sell their products. And lastly, here at Lamaro Cafe, where we are actually employing women as well to work with us as waitresses, as chefs, and hopefully soon as managers.
Can you share what inspired or motivated you to start this business?
I wanted to present local food in a way that is aesthetically pleasing. Usually we eat local food, not really being concerned about our environment because the food is so good anyway. But I said to myself, let's market it to the world. Let's market it to the rest of Uganda. When people come to Gulu, it should be one of the first things. We should be proud of our culture. So that's why we're trying to focus on local foods. We started mostly with Acholi food and then a bit of other foods from other cultures like Katogo. And we're going to branch out even more. So the motivation is really to try and do something in a different way, something that already represents our culture, but doing it in a unique way. So for example, you probably saw our signage, which is very huge, which has an Acholi name, which is already very striking because most of the signs here are in English or other languages, but not in Acholi. So when you see Lamaro Cafe in big letters and pointing out that there's local food, it's already showing we are proud of our culture.
What does Lamaro mean?
Lamaro means lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Whoa.
lovely. Yes. Yeah, lovely experience. Yeah.
How did the idea for Lamaro Studio come to you? What inspired you to bring it to life and make it a reality?
So Lamaro Studio started up because I think you're probably aware, of course, of the war that happened in northern Uganda. And basically what happened in the post-war situation, a lot of NGOs were doing a lot of training of people. So people were very skilled in making different things, but they were not really capturing the aspect of marketing those products. So that was where I came in. I started selling the products that these women would make to my fellow workmates. When I was in between contracts, I set up my shop, and that's when I started selling even more products.
Could you tell us more about the impact Connie's War had on you and your community? How did these experiences shape your journey and inspire the creation of Lamaro Studio?
After the war, people said, okay, what can we do to strengthen the community? So it was one of the recovery efforts after the war had happened. Yeah, I wasn't living in northern Uganda at the time, but yeah, definitely the community was very affected. There was a lot of trauma, a lot of mental health issues that have happened as a result. But I think the great thing about northern Uganda is we have not stuck in that mode of being related to the war. And that was also one of the objectives of Lamaro Studio, was to get out of this thing that, yeah, well, we have to acknowledge and accept it happened, but we don't have to, it doesn't have to be the only thing we associate with northern Uganda. And I think I'm so happy to see that there are so many creative people in this part of the country, from Romeo Odong, you probably know him, that song of Yoleng, and many other artists in northern Uganda, who are so creative and have helped to reshape how northern Uganda is seen.
Starting a business is never easy, especially in challenging circumstances. What were some of the biggest obstacles you faced when launching Lamaro Studio, and how did you overcome them?
The local market is not very used to selling crafts, which is what I focused on in the beginning. So a lot of the times you're focusing on clients which are coming in and out of Gulu, the tourists, or maybe people who are living here and they are leaving the city. So I think that was the challenge, especially with COVID, when a lot of people from outside the country, of course, stopped entering. So I would say, yes, working on that market initially was a bit challenging, but I've tried to expand. But then I think, when it was about to really take off, then COVID hit us and it took a bit of a pause.
So how did you recover from the COVID era?
I think it was a good lesson because it helped us to really focus on our own community. Instead of looking at selling outwards, I started focusing more on how can I develop products for people who are in here in Gulu. And so that's why, for example, Lamaro Cafe, really the idea of that came up because we are selling to the local community here.
And what new skills did you have to develop along the way to make your vision a reality?
I think financial management is so crucial. You just have to be careful and keep learning from what you've done, but also don't be too stuck on what you think is going to work. Keep reading the market, keep looking at trends, keep talking to your mentors, keep checking what competitors are doing, and you keep adjusting.
Are there others in Gulu who are running similar businesses to Lamaro Studio?
Well, we have many people selling arts and crafts. We have many people selling local food, and everyone is really trying. I have to say, people are doing a lot of good jobs. So
how does your work stand out or contribute uniquely to this growing community?
That's a good question. If I mention to you, that's my secret. That's what keeps people coming back. So I have to keep it to myself.
Promoting a business in Gulu with its unique dynamics and transient market must both be exciting and challenging. How do you approach marketing and getting the word out about Lamaro Studio? Are there any strategies and creative approaches you found particularly successful in reaching your audience?
Especially with the crafts shop, I did a lot of online marketing. The same thing for the Women's Day fashion show. We do a lot of marketing with social media influencers. But for the Lamaro Cafe, we are following a more organic process because we want to learn in real time what people want, what people think. We don't want to force our ideas out there, especially since we are new in the industry. We want to understand what people are interested in, what quality levels they appreciate, and what pricing they want. So I'd say for Lamaro Cafe, we're still doing more of word of mouth. We'd love to get people who come because they've heard about the place, but also who have also seen the place. They like that how it looks from the outside, and they get drawn to the place. So that is the marketing. But with time, we hope that, of course, through YouTube videos like yours, and where we have targeted adverts that are going out to people who are approaching the city, when we have now really established ourselves and our rhythm, we will definitely be doing more of that as we get more momentum.
Could you share a story about a successful client you have worked with at Lamaro Studio? How did your services impact their journey, and what made the collaboration stand out for you?
Yeah, I mean, there are several. Since I've been in the business, I'm not rich, but at least I've had some few successful clients since 2006. And I would say that one of the specialties we have is helping people get gifts that they really want for their loved ones. So someone will write to you and say, I need A, B, C, D. We may not have it in our store, but we can create it for you. Through the different artists we work with, we can create the exact item or close to exactly what you want. So that has been an achievement where we are able to make those very unique gifts.
What lessons did you take out from that successful client experience?
The importance of attention to detail. You have to really appreciate that this is what the customer wants, and let me give them what they want, not what I want.
Picture a young woman in Gulu, filled with ambition and big dreams, but unsure where to begin. Many like her are looking for a way to turn their passion into a thriving business. What message would you share with them from your own journey to inspire and guide them towards success?
Study the market you're going into, plan, have a mentor, but be flexible. So have a vision and goals, but be flexible also to be able to adjust.
For you, how has being a woman shaped your entrepreneurial path?
Yes, I think it's been good in that it helps you to empathize. You can talk to people in a certain way, but it's also a challenge in that sometimes in a patriarchal society, because sometimes you're not taken seriously. People are like, no, you're a woman, don't you shouldn't be saying that, or you shouldn't talk that way. So you really have to navigate carefully. I think, you cannot be too aggressive, because then people just say, you're just a crazy woman. But at the same time, you want to be, have your point and make your point, but you have to do it strategically so that you balance how you come across.
Reflecting on your journey, what do you think can be done to empower women to take the leap into entrepreneurship?
Well, I think the government is already doing a lot. There are so many initiatives that support women entrepreneurs. A lot of the NGOs are also doing that. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the family units. I think it comes down to husbands standing behind and together with their wives, brothers supporting their sisters, to say, hey, yes, let's support you to go ahead from that. Let's also promote your product. You want to enter this market, you want to sell in this place. Let's push for that to happen. So I think it starts at home. So I would say that's what I would encourage all of us to look inward and say, how can we help each other?
Walking through the streets of Gulu, I was struck by the sight of so many women riding motorcycles and bicycles, a stark contrast to Kampala. It made me wonder, is this a reflection of how women here are being empowered to embrace an opportunity to earn a living? What's your perspective on this?
We had a lot of women riding bicycles, by the way. I guess because there was not a lot of means for transport. So maybe that's how people started. And whether you're a woman or not, you had to move. I don't really know the history behind it, but it's a good question. And I think it needs more research, maybe, to also compare why in other cities and towns women are not riding. How do they move around?
Do you see Lamaro Studio expanding beyond Gulu in future? Are cities like Kampala or others part of your vision for growth?
Wow, that's a good question. So Lamaro Cafe, we plan to expand it further by offering other services like, for example, agent banking and mobile money until around 5 or 6 p.m. So we have a shop behind the post office, which we hope to also make, expand in terms of the product that we have there. We want to have more suppliers. We're also running a small restaurant next to it, together with another business partner of ours. So we really want to improve that as well, so that people can access us wherever we go, whether they want gifts or they want local food.
How do you envision Lamaro Studio contributing to the economic development of Gulu City?
I see myself contributing to the economic development by helping promote a beautiful environment that encourages more economic activity. For example, outside Lamaro Cafe, there's a small garden that we have created, which we're actually keeping clean. We are not being paid for it. In fact, we are cleaning it at our own expense because we want the city to look beautiful. And it benefits us as a business. It benefits even these border borders. It benefits the other vendors who are selling their things. So I think that's a really huge undertaking on our part. We really don't need to, but we see that it promotes the economic development of ourselves, but others also. So that I think is one of the major contributors. Then of course we want to contribute to the employment of young men and women, which we're already doing, and hopefully this will help them build the skills to start their own businesses. My prayer is that by the time you come back again, you'll find that some of the people who worked with us have their own businesses somewhere.
How many do you employ? How many?
5 people.
Wow.
I know, yesterday I was like, whoa, that's a lot. 5 people.
Is there anything special about Lamaro Studio that you'd like to highlight or promote?
Just to say, one, thank you so much, Dominic Moo, for the platform. You're helping not only myself, but many other women entrepreneurs in Uganda to really be inspired. And then of course we hope people follow us. We're on Lamaro Studio. You can find us on all the different social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X as it's called. So we hope that we continue to engage with your followers. Please just always, when you come to Gulu, always look out for the different amazing businesses, not just Lamaro Cafe or Lamaro Studio, but try and really get involved with the different local economic activities, the small kafunda selling food, the small shops selling, crafts. Try and see what people are doing to really get a sense of how people are earning a living, and like what you're doing. You're really trying to understand what people are doing. So I really appreciate that. I think it's really good for the unity of the country, so that we become stronger as a nation. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's give a nice time with you, Noro.
Thank you so much, Dominic. We appreciate the opportunity. Yeah.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah. It was nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.